though, boy oh boy. Oh man! The throw a blanket over them. But it's battle stations, white flag comes out. She's on for young and old, this one.
Has he got the job done? Looks like he has on the inside.
The pace is electric out in front.
Our mini stocks are brought to us by, go look at it, I think it's Challenge Wyman. It is the people who do the race fuel promotion here at Ampro Woodford, Glen, Speedway. As we grid up solid field of mini stocks out there tonight, front row of the grid. It is the Gypsy and Bright machines, the 79 and the 17. We're in the starters' heads. It is a very greasy track. They've been given a bit of water, and these little wheels will just cut this track up and put it in there as Braden Lennon heads us around for the first corner. Lamb in the immaculately prepared 52. He's there, as is the 28 car. We're getting, the 32 car just spat to the infield as we all bunch up. And of course, this is a non-intentional contact grade. So you've got to determine what's intentional. Love to be a referee right now. As Lennon leads us around, followed by the 28 machine of Parrott, Kerr in the 24 car, Lamb back in there. And if you get a chance, go down and have a look at the paint on the 52 car. We've got the 17 cars all crossed up down the back straight. Parrott's taken over the lead down at Enviro Waste. Interesting how all the drivers are trying to fight for that little bit of space on the pole line as we head through the corners. And Kerr, just the big missile up the inside of Archibald in the 24 versus the 23. Of course, the 23 car, part of the Brownlees racing team. You're not going to miss them. Paint job designed by a health and safety officer. As we watch Parrott, a little bit bouncy coming through. He's got Lennon behind him, back to Archibald. Kerr with Burnip in the 12 machine. Just looking further back, a few of the mini stocks running wide off Enviro Waste, but it is Parrott out in front, back to Lennon. Kerr making that charge up the inside of Archibald again, and the 88 car of McMillan spinning around down at turn 2. And it looks like in all of that, the 24 car's gone through into the third position. So Parrott at the moment. Interesting to look at the lap times. This is a very smooth track surface out there, and these mini stocks are running a second slower than the youth mini stocks were last night. So I guess the Christmas cheer is coming to play in the speed of the cars. As it is David Parrott leading us around, back to Lennon with Kerr. Nothing's changed in this top 3, even top 4. Further back through the pack, just look to see if there's any battles going on, but it looks like we're going to race this one out as Kerr has given the 4 car a bit of a hurry up, and Archibald just assists the 24, and watch this. Kerr will do the big dive up, a lot of pole line there, up into the side of the 4 car. It's allowing David Parrott in the 28 to run away with it, and Archibald looks like, Burnip gives the 24 car a bit of a slap going down the front straight, and he returns the favour going into turn 1. So the 23's moved through into the 3rd spot. The Lightning Construction car, Braden Lennon running second on the track at the moment. It is David Parrott though running away with the race. The white flag is out. There's a battle going on everywhere that Darren Kerr is at the moment, as Archibald looks up the inside of Lennon. As we look further back through the pack, we have the likes of Inns and Ford going through with Dempsey behind them. Our race leader past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand, it is David Parrott. He will just run that pole line around 1 or 2, lets it wash out wide for the front straight, carries that momentum. Parrott takes the win. Second on the track will be Lennon with Archibald. Then the 41 car of Rollins comes from out of nowhere. And that was our first mini stock race of the evening.
So what do? We supply hose and fittings and skill to get equipment up and running.
We're a one-stop shop, lubrication, fire suppression and hydraulics. The service that we provide, there's no other company that can do it and do it as well as we do.
We've got 8 branches in New Zealand, 70 distributors, 130 service technicians and vans. We're also in Australia, but within New Zealand we've been here a long time and we are the market leader.
After the devastating Christchurch earthquakes, there's always been one name you can rely on when it comes to scaffolding in Canterbury. Elliott Scaffolding have a purpose-built fleet of vehicles and a fully trained crew that can get the job done. From that small project to the bigger ones and some of the unique ones. Phone now and speak to Trevor and the team at Elliott Scaffolding Christchurch.
Individual in Speedway in New Zealand. He's been around a long time, particularly in the modified grade. Who else we got out there? 22C, that's Hayden Corbett. The 82C car, Steve Sinclair's first season in modified racing. He's been making a pretty good fist of it, I can tell you, here at Woodford Glen. Andrew Navan is in the 69 car. Brett Stack there in that black 46 machine, and at the back of the field, the guy that many consider the hot shot, that many of us would love to see up at Stratford for the New Zealand title, but he says he's not going, Hayden Mackay. So it's these guys gridding up. Obviously a bit of pace in this track. They're going to be keen to get those big tyres squealing and see what lap times they can put in.
It'll be interesting to see Mike Goulet in this race as well. He's starting to get some performance out of that Porsche.
Yeah.
Good to see him there. As you say, Dan Ray and the Curtis Shine machine up in front there.
Absolutely, that's right. So, the green flag is in Brian's hands, and we are ready to go. Bit slow through turn 4, but Dan Ray gasses it over the front straight and takes the lead easily enough from the 67 of Nigel Nevin. Sinclair washes out a bit wide into turn 1, but gathers it back up and he settles into 5th place. So as they go down the back straight now, everyone's negotiated that satisfactorily. Coming onto the front straight out of Envirowaste and into 1 and 2. Dan Ray's got it from Nigel Nevin. Hayden Mackay's worked his way through from the back of the pack to take over 3rd place. 6 is Mike Goulet, he's in 4th place there. Then we go back to Sinclair, Navan. The 13 car there of Evan Nicol is in the mix as well. Brett Stack and Hayden Corbett at the back of the field. Out front, going past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand, it's Dan Ray. He's opened up a lead of about 10 or 12 car lengths over the 67 of Nigel Nevin, who bounces around coming out of Envirowaste, and he's got Hayden Mackay all over the back of him. Mackay looking for a line to get through, desperate to use the horsepower of that 7 Arbortech sponsored machine as he runs down behind Nevin again to complete another lap. Enter Envirowaste, and he hasn't made much progress. Nevin, I won't say he's all over the track, but he's using lots of different lines. Mackay up the inside into turn 1. Can he make the pass stick? Nevin comes back at him. Nevin swaps to the inside line. He's going to brake late. He's going to push Hayden Mackay out wide. What will Mackay do? He gets his foot up it, and he comes to the front straight. They're neck and neck, side by side. Meantime, Dan Ray's out front in that 24 car, extending his lead, and Mike Goulet in 4th place is gradually closing on those two. Hayden Mackay's got the place now. He's a couple of car lengths ahead of Nevin. Nevin just struggling a little bit coming out of turn 3, and it's allowed Mike Goulet, who's wheel standing down the front straight, to come right on the back of him. Goulet running low on the track, Nevin running high. The battle for 3rd is a one to watch. Dan Ray comes through, takes the white flag. White flag already? This is a short race. Ivan, there we go. Anyway, I was enjoying this. Dan Ray, the 24 machine, past the Value Cars Grandstand for the last time. Hayden Mackay in a solid 2nd place there, and a battle for 3rd rages between the 6 of Goulet and the 67 of Nevin. Goulet runs low and takes the place with a neat little pass, wheel standing as he goes over the start-finish line. So it's Dan Ray from Hayden Mackay, Mike Goulet, Nevin takes 4th, Steve Sinclair in 5th, then Navan, Stack, Corbett and Evan Nicol rounding out the 9-car field. So while our street stocks are gridding up, You'll find Ivan will be running around in the crowd, probably try and stay fairly anonymous, but
Running,
probably
no.
Actually, no running. No, he won't. No, he'll be walking briskly around the crowd, trying to stay anonymous. But he's got lots of goodies, which he'll be handing out to anyone who's sitting nicely out there. We've got vouchers from Wash and Wax Kaiapoi. We've got vouchers for sessions at Supercarts. We've got some Burger King burger bucks, and of course we've also got, what was the other thing we got there?
Street Machine and Muscle Car Madness.
Yes,
double pass.
that's right. Passes to the Muscle Car Madness at Rangiora in a couple of weeks' time.
As we grid up our street stocks, a smaller field than normal with this particular grade. They've got a New Zealand title not that far away, so these are the brave and the crazy ones that feel that they're going to get through tonight without any carnage. As Jesse Robertson spins around out in front. The 92 car takes over the lead with the 44 of Parks to the outside. And then 92 of Rob McSherry. Big push as he heads around Enviroways. On the outside of him, he has the 44 car, just leans on him to get through the corner. And the stirrer himself, car 46 of Sean Andrews, right in there. A little bit of carnage down here at 1 and 2, and you can see the front end broken there on what looks like 154 of the Mad Mari. Merv Lewis, he'll be doing what he can to try and limp that car to the infield. Hasn't got his driver's door exposed, so he should be okay. McSherry leads us round once again. We go back to Parks, Andrews, and then the two transform cars, the Drain Mate and the Suck It Up Limited, the 43 and 27 of Leslie and Skur, as Robinson just gets flicked to the infield. 822 car, he just looks to rejoin. Our race leader though, off Envirowaste, it is McSherry, and just humming along nicely as the 822 rejoins in turn 1. Parks, Andrews, Skur and Leslie, almost an Indian file there, but all on the gas. They are just racing this one out. Of course, most of these cars will be heading to the New Zealand title in Invercargill. So in a lot of cases, they don't really want to wreck them just yet. There are a few that aren't going. Out in front though, McSherry in the 92 car, he is gone. In fact, he's the best part of the second faster than most of the other cars on the track, with maybe the slight exception of Kieran Skur, but he's got track position over Skur. And Skur has managed to sneak through into second spot, hence the reason they call him sneaking. And he will be on that gas trying to pull back McSherry. As the 44 car nosed into the wall there by the 61, manages to pull it straight and just keep it going down that front straight. Schumacher in the 77, the Crusader, the only Japanese bit of machinery out there tonight, having a battle there with the 7 car. As it looks like we're going to get into the first of our back markers with Adrian Fitzgerald. And what I remember once upon a time was a very tidy car. Maybe not so much at the minute. As the 153 having a battle there with the 822, our leaders go through. Up the inside of Fitzgerald goes McSherry, and look who is lurking right behind him. And we go red, and that'll be for the 822. There's lots of arms waving, and the window nets drop down. And some interesting gestures there, so I imagine he'll have the opportunity to calm down whilst sitting on the infield watching the rest of this race.
Yeah, it's...
oh no, sorry, I thought I saw a change in there from what was something
No, there's
earlier.
no change, I think that's right.
As we are away and racing once again, McSherry with Skur behind him. Now, Skur has been the form driver this season. Parks has lost his boot lid, one boot pin's holding it in at the moment, as the 7 car lays into the back of him. And the 82 car gets up high by the wall. Fitzgerald gets given a wallop there by Leslie as they went down into Envirowaste. And the battle is on out the front. I think you'll see these two race this one really hard as Kieran Skur looking to the outside line on McSherry, and you can see the 43 car's got the pace on the 92, doing everything he can to avoid actually hitting the 92 machine. We go red. And I think, oh, no. Got something on the track, judging by the fact we sent the push car out. They're going over for the boot lid on Parks. I guess it's just that risk that if that boot lid comes off, it becomes a bit of a sail, and we don't know where it's going to land. I mean, closer to the old Davy Brown track from the infield if it was me. We restart once again, heading down to Enviro Waste. It is McSherry back to the 2 transform cars. It is Kieran Skur. He's making the charge at the moment. The 82 car, high by the wall, limited as Chris Miles looks to go through on him. Down the back straight past the Valley Cars Warehouse Grandstand. Paul Leslie giving the 43 car a bit of a tickle up, telling him to hurry up. They're going to make the move on the 92 car, but you can see that McSherry's car just has a bit of a push. There is a coming together over there with the 153 and the 77 of Schumacher. Adrian Fitzgerald got caught up in the middle of that as they came off too. They look to rejoin. Smoke is starting to come off the back of Chris Miles' car. And saying that it is a Holden, so now you know it's actually running. So with the smoke coming out. As Sneaky Skur looking to the outside of McSherry. He's opened the door for Leslie. Leslie's going to make the move here. As Sneaky Skur just muscling his way, trying to push the wall wider actually, as he goes through on the 92 car. But he's got to carry that momentum. He'll get the slingshot off the back of the corner. McSherry, the car looks very unsettled coming off the corners. As the 153 of Wilson just ricocheting off the wall down at 4. Smoke still billowing out of the 98 car as he comes through, off as he exits the corners, and it is in the hands of Kieran Skur. 12 laps down, and the 153 car looking to do a bit of wall scraping, just running up high by the wall. As McSherry is now under battle by another McSherry, the 61 car of Tom, his younger brother, looking to stick the nose up the inside. And Miles just gives plenty of room for Skur. Skur just goes through. And the suck it up machine. As we look on the back straight there, the 46 car circulating. He was circulating low on the track. And we know that Sean Andrew loves to stir it up. He'll keep it interesting if nothing else. And it looks like he might just give the 153 a bit of a hurry up. Oh no, he's just going to give a little bit of extra pace. Checks on him. The race leaders go through. So Skur back to McSherry, followed by Tom. McSherry takes a bit of a swipe at his brother, and it's allowed Paul Leslie to shoot up the inside as we head through Enviro Waste. It is Kieran Skur, car 43, transform, suck it up, followed by Rob McSherry, North Canterbury engine reconditioners machine, and we'll look to the LS to see that Tom McSherry will come in for 3rd.
The St. Nicholas is a familiar sight around Bluff as she steams out to capture Can-Do Fishing's famous Bluff Kinner. Once caught, the Kinner is brought back to the purpose-built factory in Bluff where it is processed, packed and shipped fresh to you. But that's not all that Can-Do Fishing can do for you. Try some of their green-bone fish or delicious power products and you will soon see why seafood from the Bluff is world famous. So head to your local fish market or supermarket and ask for Can-Do Fishing Kinner, fish or power. Can-Do Fishing, there's nothing we can't do for you.
Welcome to City South Van Spares and Tyres, Canterbury's leading source of top quality new and used van parts. Situated at 166 Macy's Road, Christchurch, City South Van Spares has a vast range of late model quality parts for a wide range of vans new and used. Also specialising in mechanical repairs, there is a qualified mechanic on site and fully equipped workshop. We even do warranty fitnesses as well. It's one stop and it's your shop. City South Van Spares and Repairs, both sides of Macy's Road, Bromley, Christchurch.
Welcome to Hamner Springs and to Hamner Holiday Homes. Situated just 90 minutes from Christchurch, call our team to arrange your next holiday with action aplenty. From those who like to relax through to the thrill seeker. Choose from over 200 holiday homes with taste that caters for all. Bring the kids or relax with your partner and admire the fantastic views on offer. Book now to secure your next adventure. www.hamnerholidayhomes.com.
As our super stocks head around this race, we report to us courtesy of Cylinder Head Specialists. And as the Damien Kelly, the 95 car, joining us for the first time this season. Noel Rins, of course, debuted in the 94 car for the first time in a while. And lots of hands are being waved. It's almost like the Hawks up here tonight. And hello.
Hello.
Uh-oh. And the 24C car, he rejoins us after not being here for the Remembrance Champs.
That is Paul Weston driving that car tonight.
He braked the 34.
I'm not 100% sure, but hey, good for him.
Proven something the car actually does.
Yeah, hey, he's off the front row, so I know the Onyx Homes team are here, so Paul finishes somewhere, hit them up for something special in your ensuite. They hate me saying that, so I say it every week. On the outside of him, the 10C, Mike Hislop. A beautifully prepared car, that. It's his second outing in it.
Just the car to his brother's car based out of Palmy, and this is a beautiful bit of workmanship, isn't it?
Yep. Back on the inside in the tank, 52, the brighter safety. New Zealand build removals, Kyron O'Brien. Outside him, Jacob Brownlees. Then we go back to the lead strainers, Jamie Hamilton. Outside him, the 96 car. We're about to go green. Green's in the air, and we're away and racing. Who's going to get the flyer? Hislop, as they go into turn 1 and 2. It's wet down there, as Hamilton's found out, West's found out. Coming out of turn 2, Brownlees takes the lead. Then we go back to Hislop. Hamilton's on a flyer and just give him a whopper in the rear end. Then we go back to 991, Billy Rob. On the outside of Rob, we have the 96. Then we've got 15C, Andrew Gooden amongst here. 52C, Kyron O'Brien. 94, Nolans, Matt Lunam. Then we go back to the 93, which is Damon Callagher debuting tonight as well. Back up the front, Jacob Brownlee, the 23 car, comes out of Enviro Waste. Over the start-finish line, he's got a couple over the 9C car of Jamie Hamilton. Then we go back to Rob, Hislop, Good, O'Brien, Inns. Then we go back to Fletcher, Matt Lunam. But up the front, bit of a race on here for the lead. Brownlees washes up high, Hamilton's down low. Hamilton's going to shoot up the inside. Brownlee's got it by a car length at this stage. They go into turn 1 and 2. Hamilton uses a bit of bumper, just pushes him out of the way. Up the inside he shoots. He just pulls a wee bit of a gap. Will Brownlees come back at him? He has a look up the inside. Here he goes, up the inside, bit of side rail to side rail. Half spins himself. This is going to open up the door. Harley Robb is now going to take over second spot. Brownlees has dropped back into third. Then we go back to Hislop, Andrew Good, Noel Linds, O'Brien, Fletcher, Lunam. Up the front as they go down the back straight, entering Enviro Waste. 9C, Jamie Hamilton, the lead strainer sponsor machine. He comes out of there nice and tight. Harley Robb's picked up that second spot. Brownlees is still holding on to the third. Then we go back to Mike Hislop in the 10C car. Andrew Good in the other Onyx sponsored machine. O'Brien's trying to get up the inside as they go through 1 and 2 of Noel Linds. The gap's opened up a bit. Hamilton's put about half a dozen over Harley Robb, who's got about 3 or 4 over Jacob Brownlees, who's got about the same to the 10C car, who's coming under a bit of pressure from Andrew Good in the 15 car. O'Brien shoots up the inside of Noel Linds as they go into turn 1 and 2. Inns just into the side of him, turns him round. They come out of 2. Inns is away. O'Brien's just parked up there. He'll get fired up again. Back up the front we go. Jamie Hamilton goes through 1 and 2. He's opened it up again. He's got about 10 to 12 on Harley Robb. Gap's closed up a wee bit for second and third. Brownlees is about half a dozen. O'Brien gets fired up and away again. Then we go back to Hislop in the 10C. Andrew Good still holding on there in the 15 car. Jamie Hamilton, Worth sponsor machine, comes across to wrap another lap off. Then we go back to Harley Robb in the 991, who's coming under a bit of pressure from Jacob Brownlees in the 23C car. Then we go back to O'Brien, who's a lap down from the spin-up. And behind him, 10C, Nick Self, 12C, Nick Self sitting on the front straight there as they come out of 4. Not a nice place to sit, but he seems quite happy at this stage. Hamilton goes through. He's round through down the back straight past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand. Self's away again as they come out of Enviro Waste. We've got 9C, Jamie Hamilton. Cars under 7990 sponsor machine. Then we go back to Harley Robb and the Brownlee contracting machine. Jacob Brownlee's now just half a car length behind him. Mike Hislop will be holding on to that next spot. Then we go back, we'll be picking to be Andrew Good. There's a couple of lap markers in amongst them all there. Fletcher's in there, Matt Lunam. Noel Linds has just pulled off. He's got a left front collapsed on that car. Hamilton comes past us again for another lap. He's still got about that 12, 15. He's opened up now. Brownlees is putting a bit of pressure on Harley Robb in the 991 machine. Then we go back to Mike Hislop having a good run in this car. Then it's Andrew Good in the 15 machine. 96, Jason Fletcher trying to shoot up the inside. Gets up the inside of Good in this as they go down the back straight. Then we go back to Lunam, Paul West. Jamie Hamilton's now caught up to the back markers. He's about to put a lap down. They push out wide. Hamilton sits down tight. West comes down low. Chops Hamilton off. as they go into turn 1 and 2. Hamilton's right amongst the back markers. Gets through Lunham, gets through South. He's now following the 24 car of Paul West as they go down the back straight. It'll be white flag this time round when they come past us. 9C going through Enviro Waste. Jamie Hamilton. He gets underneath Paul West in the 24 car. White flag this time round. Second spot still being held by Harley Robb, who's getting a bit of bumper from Jacob Brownlees. Brownlees trying to go down low. Robb's up high. He gets spun. Brownlees turns him round. He takes over the second spot. Will Harley Robb get going again? In the meantime, checkered flag. First race for their guys. Number 9, Jamie Hamilton in the lead drainage sponsor machine. Second car home will be Brownlees in the 23. Coming in for third on picking, we're going to have Mike Hislop in the 10C car. Good run for him. Harley Robb will finish 4th. In behind them, we'll have Jason Fletcher in the 96 machine. As the rest come over the start-finish line now, a couple of good runs here for a couple of guys in new cars.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Let us see Hislop having a good run. Interestingly, of course, Harley in the 991 car, not necessarily wanting to get too aggressive with the boss's machinery, but as it turns out, Jacob decided he wasn't going to settle for third.
So, as I say, at the moment that place in the middle of the pack is under dispute, but we've got another race to watch while they're working that out.
And the mini stocks head away for their second race of the night. Car 65 led us away, Chris Williams, and the pack bunch right up. In fact, half of them are on the ripple strip, which is interesting. As the 41 car goes through of Rollins, followed by Grant Dempsey, the 9 car out of Dunedin sitting in there. Leo McDonald looking to make the move up the inside. It is a Rollins race at the moment. He is in command and he's opened up a good lead over the 26 car of Dempsey. McDonald with West in the 34 car trying to push his way through as well. It is getting quite bunched up in that mid pack as well. Just looking to see Williams there, and he and Lennon have a bit of a bumper rub out in front though through Enviro Waste. It is car 41 of Ethan Rowlands. Just lets the car wash up high on the track. He is carrying plenty of momentum. Liam McDonald in the 88 car. Back to the 9D, and West in the 34 car. Caleb West there looking to make moves. Inns in the 94. Dempsey just gets starting to fall back into the pack there as Darren Kerr comes through on him with Parrott and Archibald there as well. But it is all about Ethan Rowlands at the moment as he comes across the start-finish line, collects another lap. We just looked at the ELS to note that he is 2.5 second gap, which is the best part of 10% of the track, so he has got probably the best part of 40 to 50 metres on the 88 car, who is just got about 3 or 4 car lengths over the 34 car of Caleb West. Everybody else behind that starting to drop into Indian file. So it is once again just locking those laps down, all about the 41 car. West is coming back at the 88. Definitely had him in the corner there, but McDonald there just gets a better run down the back straight as Darren Kerr is looking up the inside of O'Connell Inns. The 9 car just out of the need, just washing out of shape. That would be the Sutherland machine. Inns looking up the inside there, part of the Hitman Racing team, with Darren Kerr sitting right behind him. Darren Kerr giving him the hurry up out of turn 2. And it looks like Sutherland is the man that is sort of keeping them all contained. Rowlands in the off-sponsored IU signage car. Out in front. Back to the 88 of McDonald. And West there in the Onyx Home 34. Just counting those laps out, and it looks like Rowlands has just cleaned away from the group. McDonald is doing what he can to keep West at bay. You can see the Westy there in the 34 car just has that little bit more drive off the corner, but at the end of the straight, McDonald's committing to it. As we watch the 41k head round through Enviro Waste, I've got people giving thumbs up and all sorts of signals behind me. It's kind of scary. Anyway, it is 41C at the moment. Back to the 88 with the 34. That is where the battle is. It's between second and third at the moment. We're into the back markers a little bit as Rollins goes through on the 654 car of Chelsea Milne. And West will have a couple more laps to do something about this. We are on, clocked up 9 laps. I would suggest that we're going to be having plenty of fuel in the pits for these cars tonight. There's going to be a lot of racing for them. And Rollins heading round. As we look at the ELS, it's actually the best part of 6 seconds he now has over the second place car. Gets a little out of shape when he got to the 65 car of Chris Williams, a little bit cautious on him. He's definitely watching him as they went down the straight. And not always the nicest feeling to have another car circulating slowly around you when you're in a grade that has potential for contact. Past the value cars, warehouse goes, grandstand goes, our race leader. McDonald in the 88, back to West. Darren Kerr's pulled in a little bit of ground on them, but it is Ethan Rollins at the moment. And Peck there bunched up, just looking at the 23 car running that high line. He's gone around Parrott, Burnham's there in the 12 car, the 9 car out of Neaton of Sutherland just falling back into the pack a little with the likes of Lennon, Lamb and Ross. As our race leader clocks up another lap. I feel like we're doing a bit of a marathon here. We are 12 laps down.
12 lap mini stock race. Yay!
It is. No, I suggest it's they've been given a lot of laps here to try and give us a chance to get our protest done. And it is all the Alf Rollins car. West here looking to make the move on McDonald. He's had plenty of laps to think about it. Look for that line up the inside. Backed right out of it. White flag is in the starter's hands, so take a deep breath. And our race leader through Enviro Waste. White flag will be out for Rollins. He has opened up an epic gap over second spot. And the battle is on for second between West and McMillan. Both of them second generation races. As our race leader past the value cars warehouse grandstand into Enviro Waste. It is car 41, Ethan Rollins. And this young fella can drive. He's brought home the second mini stock race of the night. Gives the wall a bit of a rub. West down at Enviro Waste. Looks at a passing manoeuvre up the inside of McMillan, but it will be the 88 car bringing us in for second, with West for third and Kerr for fourth.
And I mean, to the extent that mini stocks, for some guys, mini stocks is just what they like to race all the time. For others, it's a stepping stone. It's the beginning of other things. And you just can't help but get the feeling when you watch Ethan Rollins race that he can handle something a bit better. Maybe not this year. Maybe he needs another couple of years in this grade to really hone the racecraft. But it's coming, isn't it? Ethan Rollins is a name we're going to hear at Woodford Glen, I think, in the years to come. Yeah,
it's one of those things. He's obviously a second generation racer. His father raced super stocks, street stocks, and A grades or saloons as they were many years ago. So I guess it's in the blood.
Pedigree, yep.
But I know that he had thought about going to stock cars. I guess one of the things is, and I know as a father myself, when you start talking about kids racing, I'm not so keen on my kids going to stock cars until they're fully grown. And
fair enough too.
So maybe going to something a little less hard on the body.
Like mini stocks is a good option for a year or two. So give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. There's your race winner, Ethan Rollins. Another great performance from him. So this tightens it all up. Mackay had a lead of 3 seconds after 5 laps over Sinclair and Goulet, but that's evaporated now, of course, and they're back in Indian file. Just trucking their way around the Enviro Waste turn at the moment. That's what we call turn 3 and 4 here at Ampro Tools, Woodford Glen. Past the Burger King hot spot, which is what we call the commentary box. And into turns 1 and 2, which we call turns 1 and 2 here at Ampro Tools, Woodford Glen. Just just waiting for those lights to go out. Any news there of anything relevant, Jared?
Yeah, we've got some street stocks.
Street stocks will be coming out next, so no saloons
No,
yet.
the saloons will be out. The protest has been dealt with, and I'll talk to you about that in just a second.
Brilliant. All right, as soon as these modifieds are finished, we'll hear that news. Green flag's going to wave, and we're racing again, and not surprisingly, Hayden Mackay just floors it and disappears into the distance. Steve Sinclair trying to stay with him on the outside there, and Mike Goulet running the inside line up the pole line onto the back straight in third. Dan Ray's worked his way through to fourth. Nigel Nevin up the inside of Brett Stack there, and just holds on to it. The back of that car almost snapped away on Nevin, but he gets it, not quite. But out front, Hayden Mackay, making no contest of it. Further back, Brett Stack coming back at Nevin. The all-white 67 car of Nevin and the all-black 46 car of Brett Stack. It's a bit like a chess game. Or White Spy versus Black Spy, or something like that anyway. Out front, Hayden Mackay is doing the business through turns 3 and 4. A little bit of a challenge for Sinclair now as Goulet starts to get a little bit closer, and Dan Ray has come to join that party. In fact, I think Dan Ray is probably the quickest car, yes he is, the quickest car on the track at the moment. Oh, they're coming together there. Brett Stack, the two spies that we talked about, Brett Stack and Nigel Nevin, having a bit of a tangle, a bit of a dance there in turn 1. Evan Nichols spun up in anticipation of something worse, but I think that's just, he'll be fine there. So yeah, these modifieds are certainly starting to get into each other.
To be fair, I think we could see that one coming. If they had side panels, there'd be big black marks up the side of both Brett Stack and Nigel Niven. They were really, I wouldn't say so much leaning on each other, but they were fairly committed to their moves and passing each other. And obviously the end result is the 46 car facing the wrong way.
Let's see if Hayden Mackay can build another lead. Yes, he can. There he goes. Steve Sinclair holding on to second place. Mike Goulet around the inside there, staying on the back of Sinclair, and Dan Ray in fourth place, looking pretty racy. He was the quickest guy on the track prior to that incident, so it'll be interesting to see if Dan Ray can get amongst the second and third place cars. Steve Sinclair gets a little bit wild and woolly there coming out of turn 4, but manages to hold on to it, but that's opened the door for Dan Ray, who's dropped down low on the track. I don't know that necessarily suits him. He seems to be quickest when he's a little bit higher out near the wall. He's on the back of Sinclair now, but Sinclair dropping off the back of Mike Goulet. I suspect the tyres not working so well on Sinclair's car now as they were earlier in the race. And Dan Ray all over the back of him. Will he make a pass? I don't know. White flag's about to come out for Hayden Mackay as he makes his last trip round the track in this particular race. Mike Goulet wheel standing again over the start-finish line. If there was a competition, if you got points for the best wheel stand, he'd take away the New Zealand title, I'm sure. So coming through at Varaways for the last time, Hayden Mackay. Mike Goulet in second place there. Big gap back to the third place of Steve Sinclair. Dan Ray takes fourth, just ahead of the 22 of Hayden Corbett, who came on strong at the end of the race, and Evan Nichol rounds out the field that's still running. So there we are. Fastest lap time was a 15.91 by Hayden Mackay in the middle of that race.
Hi, I'm Malcolm Nartai from Suck It Up Limited. If you're in the Canterbury area and need any hydro excavation, water blasting, vacuum loading, any septic tank cleaning or CCTV of your pipelines, please give me a call or contact us on our Facebook page.
Suck It Up Limited, 740 Marston Road, Christchurch. Call them 24 hours a day on 027 588 8809.
Hi, Scott here from X Factor Cars, Southland's V8 specialists, stockists of the South Island's biggest selection of Holden HSV, also with a wide range of everything Ford, FPV and classic American muscle. With an in-house finance specialist, we can tailor build a package to suit each and every budget, from no deposit, structured payments and up to 60-month terms. If we don't have it in stock, our team will search high and low to find what you want. Check out our testimonials, xfactorcars.co.nz.
Go. Paddy puts himself around there, got on the gas way too early, and Tom McSherry just dusting him on the way past. Out in front though, Leslie back to Skur, and one of the Baldwins in there in hot pursuit behind that for third. Get round on the front straight, yeah, that is the Drainmate Limited car just powering away in this race. Paul Leslie's one of those drivers that wants to get a bit of air under it. Once he gets a bit of air, he's gone. As we watch 7 car there on the 269, and Robert, and he just gives them the little love tap just enough to unsettle him, flicks him round. Sherry saw that one coming, he picked it well, and he's into the back of the 7 car, gives him a bit of a tickle up, tries to correct himself, straightens up with another McSherry in the 61 car, jumping in there and taking advantage of that one. Out in front though, it is Leslie back to Skur. There's the 269 there, just across the start finish line in front of us. And everybody's just keeping it reasonably tame at the moment. Merv Lewis has definitely got some front end damage, as he's just circulating down on the pole line. And the Baldwin there just taking the 269 straight into the wall off the end there. And oh, we're going the wrong way, we're straightening ourselves up. Get on the brakes just so nobody else gets caught in that. Just about going to pull out in front of the rest of the pack as the 269 circulating down low on the track. And I suspect the action's going to be here with the 29 car. In fact, I would suspect we're going to go for a long ride. Yep, we are. We're going out wide. 269 gets on the gas, so we're going to see a bit of racecraft and cunning here. 269 oh, Bub's Maisie. So there's not a lot of surprise there with the 29 car having a little crack. And Michael Jones actually in the 29 car. There's Maisie down on the inside there, and of course Maisie's forcing him into reverse flicking him. If you're going to go into that guard, it becomes a reverse flick. He's just going to wash that car out wide. And it looks like Leslie, in the midst of all of that, puts himself around. Kieran Skur's going to go through, and we're using a lot of dust here to get the 269 car around, as Raw Wilson there in the 154, he gets into that, the 153 gets into the bit of action there with Maisie and Jones. And Leslie there just struggling to regain control of the car after his incident a lap or so ago. As Kieran Skur, race leader, he'll come round for the white flag. Red lights on, and that I am picking will be of that street stock race.
I suspect it will be. It's those 2 cars are stuck in what we would normally call the turn 1 wall. I guess it's turn 4 when they go this way around the track. So the tractor's going to go and have a look at that. You predicted possibly the end of the race, but there's no cars at the chute at the moment there, Jared. So
yeah, they're off having BK, mate. Off the Burger King, having a whopper. Will be a while. Unless, of course, they have to eat one between races, in which case they can do what I do and inhale it.
Alright, so the 153 makes its way to the infield there. That's Wilson in that car.
Maybe just being pushed to the infield. And he was in a great battle there with Jones. Interesting, you get presenting that outside quarter panel, and that's, of course, you can't hit that in the street stock if you push someone around because the team is a reverse flick and you do get penalised for it. And he knew that, so he knows that as long as he's boxing him and he doesn't have a rear bumper, he's got him in that left rear guard, he is pretty safe. As the white flag is out, our race leader, it is Sneaky Sker as he heads down past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand. Suck It Up Limited, Transform Car. We've probably talked him up a fair bit this season, but he is by far and away the quickest car on the track this season.
He is. There is no doubt about that, and he's consistent with it too. You know, race in, race out. He starts off the front, starts off the back. Doesn't really matter. First race of the night, last race of the night. He's quick everywhere.
Yeah, I think what he has over a lot of the other drivers is just amazing throttle control. I think if you're not thinking about it too much, you just mash the throttle. I know I'm guilty of it, and you don't think about actually I need traction here. And I suspect that Kieran is one of those guys that just the car on its knife edge and just use the throttle there, and that's a great skill to have. Sadly, not all of us have got it.
Absolutely. So, of course, the New Zealand Street Stock title in Invercargill next weekend. Pop down if you want to see some street stock action. It's going to be pretty wild down there, I think. And
it's wild anyway, mate. It's Invercargill.
And in 2 weeks' time, of course, we're back here at Woodford Glen, Printwise bringing us the New Zealand Street Stock Grand Prix. So a lot of those guys who've raced in that New Zealand title will have a 2-day meeting up here at Woodford Glen at that time. So give Kieran Sker a round of applause. Good result for him. Some entertaining driving from our street stocks.
Nothing. I was just checking to see if the rope was made of rope, and yep, that is rope. There's no substitute for rope, is there?
Were you trying to move that further?
No. Tell you what, I'll pop it back.
Whopper 6 at all BK Super Smash games this summer. If the boys hit 9 6s when you buy a Whopper Junior or Crispy Chicken, get a second one free.
Okay, as we line up for the second race for the Super Stocks. Front row, 991, Harley Robb. Outside him, 95, Damien Kelleher. Then we go Nick Self in the 12 car, Andrew Good in the 15. We're about to go green. We are racing. Harley Robb gets a flyer. Andrew Good's in behind him in the 15 car. Nick Self's coming through the middle. As they go through the bit of moisture on the track there as they go through 1 and 2. Down the back straight for the first time. 991 Harley Robb. 15C Andrew Good. 24C Paul West is coming through there. Nick Self out wide in the 12 car. Jamie Hamilton down low in the tri-rail. 23 Jacob Brownlee's just spun himself out as they went through Enviro Waste. Back up the front for the first time. Harley Robb up on the high line. Andrew Good in the 15 car. Paul West trying to get up the inside in the 24 car. Bit of a drag race. Andrew Good goes in high as they go through. Harley Robb half puts him round. A bit of moisture on the track. Down the front straight. No change in the lead at this stage. Harley Robb battles for second and third. West has it at this stage over Good. Good's coming back. Hamilton's in amongst the mix as well. Then we go back to 94 Nolans. Mike Hislop in the 10C car. Nick Self. Then we go back to Jason Fletcher. Then Kyron O'Brien in the 52 tank. Bringing up the rear will be Jacob Brownlee's with Matt Lunham and Damon Kelleher as they rub each other going down the back straight. Back up the front. 991 Harley Robb just taking it easy. Jamie Hamilton, he's got past the 24 and 15 of West and Good as they go through Enviro Waste. Hamilton, West, Good. Then we go back to Nowens in the 94. Hislop, Fletcher, Self, O'Brien. They go through 1 and 2. Self's up high, O'Brien's down low, about to shoot up the inside of Jason Fletcher. Still no change at the front. Harley Robb's just coming up to some back markers now. Hamilton's made good ground. He's closed the gap quite massive. He's now about a car length off Robb as they go down the back straight. Matt Lunham just a car in between there. Gets a bit of bumper off Hamilton, just a gentle touch, knocks him offline a wee bit. Hamilton shoots up the inside. Paul West is still hanging on to that third spot. Mike Hislop in the TNC car. Then we go back to Nolan's having a dream run in this new car of his. He'll be happy with how that's going. Andrew Goods putting in some good laps. Then we go back to Jason Fletcher in the 96. Kyron O'Brien in the 52, the New Zealand Building Removal sponsored car. White flag this time round. Harley Robb has got the lead, half a car length over Jamie Hamilton in the 9C. Hamilton's going to shoot up the inside, gives him a bit of bumper, pushes him up high. Robb's on the outside, slows up a wee bit of cat and mouse. Robb's going to pull. Lunham gives him a whopper in the rear end. As they come through, Paul West, we're sitting there watching all of this. Jamie Hamilton's pushing Robb wide. Hamilton, Robb, Harley Robb's going to take the win. Paul West might have just snuck through. No, Jamie Hamilton for the second spot, Paul West. Then we go back to Nolan's, Andrew Good. Kyron O'Brien in the O'Brien aluminium car from the Hawke's Bay. There we go, Jared.
Yeah, it was good to see that Harley actually used a bit of I say foxing tactics. I'd say you see Jamie pull up beside. I don't think there's any aggravation between them, but it was just good to see that Harley uses that team experience, he uses that foxing ability, and he just kept Jamie at bay.
Oh, exactly.
And I guess the other thing too that's quite pleasing is, let's be fair with that 991 car. It's a brand new Rees chassis.
Yep.
But it isn't that special. It is built to a budget, that car, and he is really making it perform.
The good thing out of tonight, with big meetings coming up for these guys, the 15 car, Andrew Good, spinning some good laps. Kyron O'Brien just going in, spinning some good laps. Hislop, Nolan, all these guys with these new cars are actually, you know, they're getting on the pace. And then we've got guys away, obviously Nartai's cars in the North Island, Chris Allen's cars in the North Island, Tim Ross is doing a campaign up there. They've all got their New Zealand champs next weekend, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yep, at Waikareca Park. So.
And our mini stocks out for their next race. Front row, full female front row there. Chelsea Milne and Renee Harris on the front row. We are away and racing. And of course, these mini stocks, they got a 15-lap race. I suspect this one will be a few laps less.
There's a fair bit of bunching up and touching up going on there, you'd have to say.
Well, there's a little bit of that. Bellis in the 18 car, Shy Rob, so field fairly well full of female competitors out there too, which we've not made any point about Michelle Weimer in the Saloons, but she's the only female competitor out there. Oh no, sorry, Billy Woodhouse
is out there.
The other group, but as far as the qualifiers go, she's the only female in it. Out in front, it is Shy Rob with ins on the outside. Something's gone on mid-pack there with around the 72 car.
Yeah, 72 was having a moment there.
Jamie Booth must. Archibald in the 23. Archibald seems to get a much better run up the inside of the ins car. And McDonald will be joining in for there. Dove right up the inside, but right on the brakes. And as you can see, everybody's just aiming for that low part of the track for race position. They want to be on that pole line. Ford's there in the 84 car. Goes through on ins right on the back of McDonald. Arrow slipped back a little bit, but at the moment it is in full command of Shy Rob. Further back through the pack, we lose Nick Ross to the infield in the 32 car. Caleb West giving Kawanatoa a little bit of a touch up there as he heads through. Archibald up the inside of the 181 car. She doesn't give him any room. He has to back out of it.
We've gone red.
Red. I wonder if we're going to ping someone for moppers, or have we got debris? No, we're seeing a rescue vehicle out. Yeah, well, can a mini stock actually rip the brass up? Anyway, I shouldn't be so cynical. It is Shy Rob back to Archibald with Ford. And this track is very hard, well packed for them, so this will suit within reason. But as soon as they get a little bit of moisture on it, of course the skies are provided that it gets a little slippery. They're not exactly running the biggest wheels in the world. Archibald runs up high in the 23 car, the Brownlee's contracting machine. Miniature version of Jacob and Harley's cars. As Shy Rob leads us around. As we look further back through, Aris here has got Burnip and Parrot right on a tail. West in the 34 car. Rollins is there. Rollins is trying a different line. He's driving it high. And I think he's going to scrape the wall for us. If Gio drives it any deeper, he will be getting a hot dog shortly. As West is up the inside of Parrot. Parrot's trying to close that door. West is not backing out of it. White flag is there for Shy Rob. Archibald with Ford running third on the track at the moment. So some good battles there. A bit of racecraft being shown throughout the back of the pack. But as we head past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand, it is Shy Rob in the 181, followed by Paul Archibald and David Ford. We head through Enviro Waste, and the checkered flag is waved. Do we have any power to get past the 181? No, it'll be Shy Rob. And that, oh, we've got one spinner. West's gone round down there at Enviro Waste. There's a little bit of cone, Motorcana cone driving course down there. And that was
race something or other on our program, because we've got all mixed up. Things have got changed around. Let's pick a sponsor for that particular one, shall we? Who might have sponsored the mini stocks late in the program? Let's have a quick look. Sylvester. Or Burger King? Could have been. Well, it might have been Sylvester Performance. Perhaps they did it jointly. Thank you.
I noticed he didn't say V8 Performance.
So, right.
You need to put the two mini stock engines together to get that.
Okay, so Shy Rob took that one away from Archibald. Ford in third place, McMillan in fifth. O'Connell Inns came through, sorry, fourth. O'Connell Inns came through fifth. Renee Harris sixth. Emma Burnham seventh. Parrot eighth. Lamb ninth. And Rollins 10th. So good racing from our adult mini stocks there. So we'll stop babbling about video and referees and start talking about modifieds, which are out on the track for another heat. I'd hate to think where we are in the program for modifieds. Let's suggest it's Value Cars. Oh no, it might not be Value Cars Warehouse, because they did an earlier one.
I'm sure Marty at Value Cars will be more than happy for us to mention them. See, he sponsors the Grandstand, for Pete's sake.
Let's say Trenchless Services, possibly event 16 roughly on the program. Trenchless Services sponsoring this race. So we've got Andrew Naven. It looks as though they're ready to go next time round, so that's good. Andrew Naven on the inside, Nigel Nevin on the outside. Yes, a Naven and a Nevin. I know, I'm the commentator. I'm going to trip up over those two. 7, Hayden Mackay. 22, Corbett. We've got Dan Ray outside of Brett Stack. We go back to Evan Nicol, Mike Gourlay, and at the back of the field, Steve Sinclair. Brian's waving his green thing, and we are racing, and Nevin streaks off into the distance and almost into the wall. That was close. Naven takes over the lead with Hayden Mackay on his tail. Nigel Nevin just dropping back several places there as Brett Stack runs up the inside of Mike Gourlay, glued to that pole line does as well. Nevin comes back down the front straight. Dan Ray following him on the outside line too. Out front, Hayden Mackay's got to the lead past Andrew Naven, who pulls somewhat dangerously across the track. They're not quite sure what went wrong there. Looks like he took a hand off the steering wheel or something.
Scratched his nose.
Scratched something anyway. So Brett Stack is holding on to second place, and he's got Mike Gourlay all over the back of him. Gourlay sneaks up the inside and makes the pass and gets that job done. Meanwhile, Hayden Mackay is almost the length of the straight ahead out in first place. It's another one of those no contest bouts, I think. So Gourlay chasing him down. That car still wheel standing, even though the track is really quite tacky at the moment. Naven dropping back as Dan Ray moves up into third place, and Brett Stack in the mix there as well. Nigel Nevin, after that early brush with the wall, is holding out Steve Sinclair near the back of the field. Hayden Corbett just tucked in behind them, and Evan Nicol, the trophy hunter, at the back. So out front, Hayden Mackay. Arbortech Traxxas sponsored machine. If you want a great little radio control car, get hold of one of those Traxxas machines. They're fantastic. 7C, Hayden Mackay. 5 laps completed. Mike Gourlay holding on to second place as Dan Ray gets closer and closer with each lap. Brett Stack fourth, long way back then to Nevin, Corbett, Sinclair and Nicol just coming on to the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand at the moment. Dan Ray all over the back of the 6 car of Mike Gourlay. This is where the action is in this race. Hayden Mackay's got it well sorted out front, and in fact is about to pick up the white flag. Gourlay's got ahead of Dan Ray, who had a few issues going through turn 4 into Enviro Waste there. as they come down the back straight for the last time. Hayden Mackay will take another win in the modifieds at Woodford Glen. A few further drops of rain coming down on the commentary window at the moment. 6. Mike Goulet skids his way across the start-finish line there and takes second. Dan Ray third. Brett Stack is fourth. And we go back to Nevin, Corbett, Sinclair, and Evan Nicol is spun up bang between turns 3 and 4. I don't think he'll quite make it across the start-finish line.
So for those of you that have come out of Christchurch and may not have picked up earlier, and those of you that are streaming that have been watching this modified race, some of you will have picked up that the 6C car sounds awfully strange for a V8. And we did touch on a little bit before. That was
because it's not.
It's not. It's actually a Porsche turbo engine, naturally aspirated. It is, I guess, a bit of a. Mike Goulet's done a lot of modifieds. Mike's been racing 20, 30 years. Certainly his family's been involved in the sport a very long time. He still has a V8 modified at home, but there's a certain point where, to make the sport interesting, you start tinkering with certain things. I think we look at Blondie Chamberlain in the sprint car that he turned into a saloon car. And in this particular case, Mike's had the opportunity to get a Porsche engine, or two, and he is trying to adapt it to the modified. And if they ever achieve the figures that this car has potential of, this car will be an absolute handful. It is capable of figures well in excess of what the V8s are for horsepower and torque, but the bit at this point, because it's still very much experimental, a lot like the Crazy Ray Stewart's little Nissan.
Yeah, the Nissan
and Rob Gold's cars years ago, it's still experimental, so there are a lot of bugs. He did most of last season with blowing heat gaskets in it, but when it does go, it is going to go big. Just prove why I shouldn't touch computers, didn't we, Tony?
Yeah, that's all right. All sorted.
Yep.
Just a little bit more rain for a few more minutes, then we're going to get a bit of a dry break, I think.
Yeah, you got to love Speedway fans that are passionate about their racing as the street stocks head away. We didn't have to water the track. God did that for us. It is raining reasonably heavy, and
I think the lap times are going to go a bit sky high for this race.
Yeah, well. Of course, if you're watching it at home and you're wondering what is going on, why did we wreck the track like a derby? Well, that's had a just dusting of a nasty little shower that came through. Of course, the street stocks, they can take it. They may not like it. The pit crews are going to hate it when the cars come back in the states they're going to come back in. But they can handle it. The 61 car there of Tom McSherry leading us round by Rob McSherry and Kieran Skur, and you can see that these guys are just getting out by the wall and they're just going to lean on that wall to get round. Not necessarily the best way, not healthy for your car. The 82 car is resided to the infield. It's a place that can park and stay and not get dirty.
You get spun up on this track, you're going to stay spun up.
Oh, this isn't just Burger King, this is Donut King if you actually get spun up on this one. It is greasy down low. And interesting, if you notice, nobody actually wants to go anywhere near our pit gate, because if you've got a legal street stock, it'll rip the bits off your car. It is a 10mm Biz alloy. It is solid, and nobody wants to hit it. Look at Sneaky Skew using the wall to, I was going to say, to his advantage, but I guess it's keeping him on the track. He's looking to the outside. He's really hedging it here with the McSherry brothers, and he is right on the back of Tom. Gives him the big hurry up. He's hoping to push him offline. Rob's going to join in the back of this, and it really is a bit greasy now. Probably not a lot to commentate out there, Tony. But for those at home and those listening in, what can you tell us about what we're about to experience in the next 10, 15, 20 minutes?
Well, this rain, which has got heavier in the last 5 minutes, by my reckoning should just ease back, and we should have a drier spell for the next 20, 30 minutes or so after this. And I can see there's the saloons lined up in the dummy grid already, the BK saloon, so I know Kinder's very keen to get that 25 lap final out the gate and happening. Not quite sure what they're going to make of this track surface, but it is what it is. You can't change that.
Well, if we can just get a clear run with the weather, the saloons will pack the water into the track. This is going to be a bit of a lottery race, fans. Certainly the street stocks at the moment. We're all nosed into the wall here, but Sherry's put himself around, I think it was on Parks. Parks wouldn't get out of the way. Rob McSherry's going to get the white flag. So we have one lap, albeit, yeah, you know you're doing, you know the track's a little undriveable, a little slippery when you're doing a 31-second lap and you're the leader.
Yeah. Yes.
Whoops. That's about twice as fast as a modified, or twice as slow as a modified can go around here. So, but it is almost undrivable. It's going to do well for Rob McSherry to bring it home. Skir will be in that second. Jones has got Merv Lewis digging into the side of him over there at turn 2. And it's suggested they're probably on the only bit of track that's dry at the moment. Is now very different. This is like a brand new track at the start of the night, freshly graded and freshly watered.
And packed. Yes, it is. It's a completely new kettle of fish. And I imagine down in the pits there's going to be a lot of drivers scratching their heads, adjusting things and saying, well, actually, how are we going to cope with this? Because everything we knew about this racing service is out of the window, and we start from page 1 again.
Well, saloon cars don't have the adjusters like super saloons and all the weight jackers and whatnot. As we are away and racing with our mini stocks, thank goodness we're back in this. Hold on to your hats, race fans. We're not far away from a saloon car final. Shy Rob leads us round in the 181, followed there by Inns in the 94. Looks like Williams has got someone out by the wall. Who was he got on the outside? And we'll see him as they come round. Archibald and Rollins in there. Parrott right on the sitting fifth at the moment. Williams goes in hot, hits the back of the 72 car, who gets collected by West on the way through. Just about, I think it's about time for a stock car for one or two drivers, I know. And that was the car he was squeezing out. It was the 4 car of Lennon he was trying to put into the wall. As we look at the front end of the field, heading past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand, it is Shy Rob leading them. Archibald's on the and Inns looking to the outside. It's very greasy, Shy Rob. You wouldn't think it's hard to control your mini stock with the power of all of about 55 to 75 horsepower. I know there's people debate it. It is now in the hands of the Brownlee's contracting car of Archibald. He heads around, back to Rob with the Inns machine there. Roland sitting fifth at the moment, Parrott on that inside of Inns as they head down into Enviro Waste. A little bit greasy, but everybody seems to be able to handle it.
Sort of, after a fashion.
There's a wall, there's side rails. It's not really intentional on this referee. As we head around turn 1, it is Paul Archibald in the lead. Back to Rob with Parrott. And Emma Burnip's in there, and I'm not quite sure whether she's been picked up or whether she is racing on to the let's just trust the computer. Yep, no, she is comfortably sitting in fourth at the moment, although she did wash out a little bit. Behind her is a Rollins with Inns, and a West is joining in. Chelsea Milne pulling to the infield in the 654. And the battle is between Archibald and Rob looks like she's got the run here on the 23 car. It's going to be who's brave under brakes. Certainly there'll be a couple of bits of the track which will still be a little bit slippery. You can see as you come off forward, just a couple of the cars got a wee bit taily in those earlier laps. And it's certainly the track might have been scraped and had the slush taken off, but there still will be a little bit of dampness out there. As we head around again. Burnip sitting there in third. Rob second with Archibald in the first place position. Just keeping it cool, calm and collected. Not the fastest rocket ship laps of the night. We are still in that sort of 25-second lap mark, so we're probably about a second to a second and a half off what these cars would normally do. As we watch them head down the back straight, past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand. It is Emma Burnett challenging Shy Rob there for that second place. White flag is out for Archibald. As the 23 car heads around. Burnett, Roland sitting fourth at the moment. You can sense he wants to make a little bit of a charge here on the Rob car. It is all about keeping smooth and fast though. As we head into Enviro race for the last time for the mini stocks, Paul Archibald leads us around. Emma Burnett right on his heels. The checkered flag is waved. He chases it down, and it will be the 23 car, the Brownlees contracting machine, taking away the race win. Back to Emma Burnett and Shy Rob for third. That track reasonably raceable there, Tony.
Yeah, I think that was okay, and I think they'll be pretty happy with that. There'll probably be a quick debrief. Archibald certainly managed to stay out front pretty well, and Emma Burnett came through the field quite nicely too. So certainly some grip out there for the drivers if they went looking for it.